Okay, hello everyone, patrons of Barbara's Ponce Library and others. My name is Cassidy Groover, and I am so excited to show you a little bit more about Inform 7. So, just to cover what we've already discussed, we saw a sample of a game made in an almost identical engine, and we learned how to download this program. So if you did all that correctly, you should be where I am now. What you're going to want to do, what I didn't show on screen, is that it'll ask you to make a project in a little pop-up when you first start it. You're just going to want to put, we're just going to be practicing with this. So just put something like practice, and then the author name is just going to be whatever you want to call yourself. So I have practice by Cassie G right up here, as you can see. So the goal for today is I want to do this, just keep it short. I just want to look through the different tabs here and kind of introduce you guys just to, how this works, what we're going to be looking at, and then we'll start our actual lessons, hopefully after this, right? So this is like the third part of our intro, basically, or conclusion. So here we are, and okay, so if you're anything like me when I started, you're looking at this right now and you're like, oh my God, this is a lot, right? Do not even worry about it. It is super simple. Don't stress. We're going to go through it together. So you can see that we have two tabs here. Now you might notice something interesting. So they match in the headers. These headers: source, results, index, guide, transcript, story. They match right over here. Same things. Because they are the same things. You just get to have two different tabs open to refer to your different settings here, to refer to your different story elements that you can track with these, which will become more clear as we go through. So this is like, yeah, these open the same thing. So right now I can hit source and boom, same page, and I can go to documentation, boom, same thing. So it's just a really handy, convenient way to have things spread out. If you don't like this, if you just want one page, guess what? Boom, we opened it up, we slid it open. Go back the other way too, boom, open. So I don't know, I just think that's really neat. It's little, but it really helps. So let's go back, just because I'm more used to this, let's go back to how it was. And so here is our most important piece right here, documentation. This is basically, this is the rule book for Inform. This is how, the Inform recipe book, you can see down here. It basically is going to help us, figure out what we're doing. It's an introduction, so I am here to take you through this intro, basically, but it's a very handy tool that can help us figure it out. Now, you can also totally read this and piece it together and learn on your own, like I did. I am completely self-taught. I went through this book and I just practiced with this book, right? But why not join me? And then we can go through it together and I can explain things that maybe the book doesn't explain so well. And so that's the basic plan here. But if you're more independent, if you're just like, no, I don't have time for this, I want to get going, then, by all means, I get it. Go ahead. But, so we're just for the people who do want to stick around, who do want to get the step-by-step, slow and steady. Here I am. So this is what we're going to be referring to most of the time to help us. So you see, I'm opening these little tabs, I'm going through section by section, and it looks like a lot, but I promise you we're going to break it down, and it's going to be great. So let's start here then. Let's go, now that we've shown this off, I can start on everything else. So source, what is this? What is going on here, right? this is where we're going to actually be doing our coding. This is where, source code, that's where that comes from. We're going to be doing our coding here. So we're going to, if you'll allow me, we're going to be typing things in here, blah, 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 and we are going to be entering that in. And it's going to, make our story. It's going to make our actions. It's going to create our world here. All our coding. Right, little descriptions. We can do all kinds of things, but we're going to be getting into that later. So results. This is where we're actually going to enter in everything, right? And it's going to show up here as like an actual thing we can play through. We're going to see how it comes up. It's going to be, this is where we see if we did everything correctly. We can test it. That's basically what our results page is. Index. Index is going to show us kind of the things we've made already. Like we have contents, actions, world, different descriptions up here. And so when we tab through this, when we start introducing story elements, when we start typing things in, entering in code, we're creating objects, we're creating locations, we're creating people, we're creating things you can do, to interact with everything. That is all going to be in the index, so you can easily access everything you've made. You can keep track of it. It's like a personal journal for what we're going to be creating. It's really helpful. And you can obviously see we don't have anything here yet because, we haven't entered in anything, but, So the sky in here, it's something I haven't used too much myself yet because I haven't really made too many, like, big projects. But basically, this is going to help you see an order of choices and actions that you can take in the story and, like, what is the word? It's like those little charts you would make in school with different things branching off from the main section, right? So practice is my title right here. We're going to have different storylines and elements and things you can do that, this is going to branch off into kind of like a choose your own adventure novel, if this is making any sense. You choose one option, now the line goes down here. You choose another thing, it can go two different ways. You get what I'm saying? Okay, and next we have our transcript. Again, this is like another version of the skyne in a way. We make choices here, it spells them out for us, what we've done, we get to review. Bless, this little option here, that's going to solidify like what the right thing to do in a situation is. Like if we're following the correct order of events or if we're taking the right actions, it's going to record everything we attempt within the text we make. So this might not be making sense. Let me explain like this. If I type in, this is going to be based off a practice we will do next time. If I enter in, we are in a gazebo, there is a crate on the floor, the crate can be opened, there is a hammer in the crate, right? So the actions we're going to take are going to be examine crate, open crate, take hammer, right? That kind of sequence, and that's all going to be recorded here when we go through this. If this isn't making sense yet, don't panic. When we actually start applying everything, it'll probably be a lot more clear, I would imagine. Story is, another extension of that. It's everything we're putting together. It's the display of what we've made so far. Documentation, we've already talked about this, the rule book. Now extensions, this is bundles of extra rules or phrases. So basically this is kind of like if you're if you're into video games, this is very much like the mod screen, So you can, let's see something in here. Gives control over text formatting, allows players to address inanimate objects. See what this does, this is like what other creators have made that we can insert into our program here to change it, to add more detail, to add more to what we could do. We're not going to mess with this for the practice because I just want to look at the vanilla experience, the vanilla form of inform. The vanilla form of inform, of course. we're just going to go with like the basic whatever, so don't worry too much about extensions yet. Settings. Now this is just like, this is just little stuff. Predictability of random outcomes, story file formats. This isn't a big deal yet. We might go more into this later, but right now, do not even worry about it. So basically, the most important things we're going to be paying attention to, most important things are source, results, index. Maybe the spine, maybe the story a little bit. Oh, and of course, the documentation. The documentation is a big one, but that's more for me to you. But when you actually know what's going on, when you're more, versed in it, it's going to be like these three things mainly, is what I find myself using at least. You can never say for sure whether it's going to be the same for you as it is for me. But, yeah, and you might notice too, we have a little bit more up here. This is just for executing our commands in the source coding, which you're going to see later. And that's basically it. So we're going to go to File, and you can see that we have a little save button down here. You can also make a new project if you want to mess around with some things before you follow along with me. Or you can open a pre-existing project if you had any. It's just, the basic stuff. It's like any Word document, any functionality of that. So we're just going to save our project here. Save. And it is saved up on our Inform software. You could probably also find it in your files. And we're going to close it down. And next time we open up Inform, we're just going to load this back up and we're going to continue along. So, I hope you guys come join me on the next one, and we're actually going to get into the nitty-gritty. Finally, we're getting into the details. So, super psyched. Bye!